Hi everyone, this is your brother friend Praise Hi, and I'm really so excited today to have financial investment talk with you with my lovely brother. How are you, bro?
Well done. Thank
Chanel,
you. Miguel.
Miguel, it's good to have you once again on this platform. We decided to be using this platform to educate people financially. I mean, to let them know that without investments, without investing, you can be expecting, you can't harvest. Without sowing, you can't be expecting anything back. It's about what you give out is what you get. If you don't give, if you don't sow your time, if you don't sow your resources, if you don't sow your ideals, you are going nowhere. Whether you, if you like, you can pray from now to eternity. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, you are not going to get blessed financially. And I know you many times you always talk about your trading business, how you've been investing so much, hoping that one day you're gonna make millions or billions from your trading. On From a Christian's point of view, how much do we have to invest? Even though we believe God can do it, He can provide for our need, He can do everything, but without we doing something about our finances, we cannot gonna get any results.
Well, firstly, thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
We need to look at opportunities. It's not about how much you can invest, more what opportunities arise and what can you afford sometimes or what you cannot afford, but the opportunity is there for
But
you
you
to
can create
afford.
opportunity for
Yeah,
yourself
exactly,
sometimes. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And trading is just one way of investing your time, your
Invest
energy,
your
your
money.
resources,
Yeah.
and trading is just one way. But there's many other ways investing
That's
your
right.
time and your money into other things, or just investing your energy, your space, your being, your education, whatever you have.
That's right. So, but this brought me to the point where we have to let people know that there are things that we need to do if we want to prosper financially. You need to do certain things if you want to have a breakthrough financially, if you don't want to be out of money. And it's very unfortunate, very quite fortunate that without money you can even the gospel, you can't propagate the gospel, you can't even, in everything we need money. Even the Bible says money answer all things. And I feel so uncomfortable when I see people that they want to be a kingdom financier, kingdom bankers, but they are doing little to become kingdom financial. You understand? They are doing little. So what will you say now? Because it's like 2025 is already on. We're in February now. Before you know, the year we'll be doing another Christmas. And if we don't size the opportunity now to start doing something creative, something meaningful with our resources, with our time, with our concept, with our idea, we must still be the same way we were last year.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So this is a point. This is the opportunity for every one of us who call ourselves a believer. We need to invest our time, invest our money, invest everything that God has given to us, because He believe in trading every gift, everything that is given to us. It's just like the story of the five talent in the Bible. One was given four, one was given two, one was given one. The one which one said, "No, man, I can trade with this one because why would my master giving me one?" Because he was expecting to be given four. Everybody's not going to get the same equal share. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, you can read it in different interpretations, but yes, and different viewpoints. But the point is, Peter, God gives us a life to honor Him, and when we honor God, we need to, there's so much instructions in the Bible, God's Word, where it tells us how to invest our time, how to live our lives, what kind of life God accepts and doesn't accept, and how to invest our energy, our resources, our ideals, our dreams, our hopes, our ambitions. But if you don't have God's kingdom in mind, then I don't think God's going to really be behind you, because that would be a different approach.
So what will you say about Elon Musk? Do you think God is not behind Elon Musk? So what you saying? Or Mark Zuckerberg, or all these billions guys who owns billions? Are you saying God is not there?
I never said that.
Okay.
I never said that.
So, but you can see that these guys, they're not really believer, they're not Bible freak, they're not Jesus freak, but they're really blessed by
You don't
investing
have to
their
be
money.
a Bible freak or Jesus freak to be using the principles of God.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Applying the principle. Like what I told you the other time, that if you want to be blessed, the system is for everybody, whether you are just or just, whether you're a believer or not believer. Once you apply the principle of harvesting, of sowing and reaping, you're gonna get result. But you can just go about, you a Jesus kingdom banker, you're Jesus freak, and you're doing nothing about your finances, you're gonna be poor as a church rat.
Well, I wouldn't judge it that harshly, but yeah, you must probably end up.
That's the truth.
I wouldn't judge it that harshly, but I would say that honestly, there's if you're not going to sow and reap, you're not going to sow, you're not going to reap.
You're not going to reap, exactly.
And then you basically that's a farmer's terminology, but whatever you put into life, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. God will bring it back somehow to you, and God will improve it. He will always improve it.
All right. You didn't talk about the equal share. Should be expecting equal share from God?
I think we can expect a lot more from God. Depends on your faith.
I know, but what about the equal share?
What do you mean equal share?
Equal share, like you have more than I have, or you have.
Yeah, but nobody needs to compare with anybody. I don't believe in comparison. No, I don't believe in that. I believe that if you're going to compare, you're just like the world then. You're just like the devil's children, because at the end of the day, they're always comparing each other, they're always challenging each other, they're always competing with each other. And that's not the kingdom way. The kingdom way is God's grace. When God blesses you, he blesses you.
Yeah.
When the opportunities and the doors open, they're open. And when you go for it and you give everything you got, remember the Bible says you've got to serve God with all of yourself. Yeah. Everything.
That brought me to this point that wherever he gives to you is for a purpose, and it's for you to trade with it. If he gives you one talent, two talent, you don't look at your brother that have 10 talent or have 10. You understand? What you're requested for is to multiply the one they given to you. That is a kingdom financial principle. Many of you are not ready to multiply, to develop. You know the problem I'm having with many Christians, they have the skill, they have the ideal, but they are so lazy. They are
they're going to replay.
They are so lazy, and they don't want to do anything. They want to start from the
it's against God's kingdom. It's against the principle.
They want to start from the high top mountain, but it doesn't work that way.
Everything starts small.
That's what
everything starts small.
That's
we all started in a womb.
Yeah, the Bible says we should not be afraid of our little beginning. Now, all right. Before I don't want to waste much of our time. We're going to be talking about 5 steps to start investing. 5 steps to start investing. The number one is to start now. What will you say to start now?
Yeah, don't procrastinate. Yes,
don't procrastinate.
Yeah, but you got to have something that when you know what you're doing, then do it. But if you don't know what you're doing, first find out before you do it.
Even though if you have to start small, even though you have to start little, you have to start now. You can procrastinate. You can say until when I have certain capital.
There's never a perfect time.
You understand? There's never a perfect time.
Never.
So that's number one step of investing. Is the time is now. Is right now. Not tomorrow, not next tomorrow, because you might not have a perfect time to start. And the second one is decide how much to invest. Decide how much you want to invest.
Well, most people invest 10 to 20% of what they have as extra investments, but people with a great amount of faith will invest more. Most intelligent investors, they invest about 20, maximum 25%, but that's their investment portfolio. And the rest of them, it depends on the ambition that they have, that they invest into different stocks and properties.
If I should ask you words, how much do you think you as a person will love to invest if you want to invest in anything?
Well, if you do your budget up properly, if you have a proper budget system, and you work it out, it's entirely up to you. If you're single, it's different to when you're married.
When you're married,
or you got a family, or you got other responsibilities.
I think it's also limited to the I mean the opportunity in what you want to invest to.
Sometimes you are limited.
There's
Yeah.
some investment that has a very high risk, and some has a very little risk.
Mm.
But if you discover that the risk is minor, it's not that much, you can take the risk and invest more than 20-30% into the
Well,
business.
like I said in the beginning, if you know what you're doing
Mm,
and you have a good insight understanding, you have a good knowledge and a predictability about
mm,
the outcome without much risk to it, then
yeah.
I think that it'll
That's why
be
we advise people to do their flexibility study
Mm.
before you invest in any business.
Absolutely.
You have to take your time to do some research about any investment, about anything you want to put your money into, because some people are very lazy to do their review, to do their, research.
I think
And
people are just conditioned from young. They're brought up.
their conditions.
Yeah, and today, how do you see work? So, in the old days, in the industrial age, we were told
Yeah.
sweat for your money, but that's not work. Work is using your brain, using your education, using the knowledge you have, using the experience you have. That is proper work. You don't have to go and sweat every day in order to bring bread and butter on the plate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another point another point for to start your investment is opening an investment account. You can be using your personal account with your investment account, because there must be a separation. There must be you must be able to separate your investment profits or money or capital from your personal account. And we have pick an investment strategies. You have to pick investment strategies. What do you understand about having a master plan with the investment
Absolutely.
you want to
Yeah,
achieve?
you should have a master plan for how you're going to invest your money, what you're going to do with your money, what opportunities you're going to take. Today, the opportunities are massive.
Is it advisable
Today-
to pay people to help you to do the strategy?
Well, if you can afford it
can
and you
afford
think
it.
that it's going to be to your best interest, yes.
Yeah, and I think it will be of best use to contact consultants, to ask questions, to ask people who are expert on that line that you want to invest your money into. Because let me tell you, to gather money is not easy, and you don't want to lose your money just like that. And it's
Yeah.
very easy to lose money like this if you're not prudent, if you're not wise. So it is very good to pick an investment strategies, to have a master plan when you want to invest. And the final one is understand your investment options. You must know your options. That what are your options? What are the options on ground for you to invest? What are the choice of business you want to invest into? Because many people they just jump into conclude. They just jump. Like what I was asking you the
But
other
that would
time.
be foolish.
Like what I was asking you the other time, that is it godly to just jump into any opportunity that comes your way?
Never. That would be very foolish.
To jump into that sounds good.
It's like gambling.
It's oh my
the risk,
god.
the
High
risk,
five for the brother. I like that,
the
man.
risk, the risk is
It's so
very,
high.
very high.
So it's not every opportunity that comes your way you jump into it. And there are a lot of sweet saying, a lot of
Empty promises.
empty promises that will just come to you, man. If you can just invest, that you're gonna get a return, triple them. But let me tell you something, man.
Marketing is a
you-
great tool. They use a lot of marketing to lure people and seduce people into giving their money. And yeah, sometimes there is a benefit to that, but most times I've realized that if you're going to invest into something, you better know how, when, and what you invest into.
Choice.
You better have done your homework.
Homework.
Because if you don't do your homework, in
Yeah.
other words, if you haven't done getting enough knowledge to know what you're doing,
Yeah.
it's like, how do you fly an airplane? But
Yeah.
you're a pilot.
All right. Yeah.
How do you fly an airplane? Well, you've got to learn. You've got to get experience. You've got to get
Experience,
time.
yeah.
You've got to get somebody teaching you. You've got to have all these things happening in order to fly that airplane. Because what's going to happen is if you're going to try and fly it on your first go,
Yeah.
or even your second go, or even your third go, you're going to crash.
Exactly.
That's
Big
it.
time.
You're doomed.
Even though it might be very scary if you wanted to start initially at the initial point. I remember my first lesson at the flying school, and I was so scared. I was very scared, even though I was determined. I was crazy. I would desire to become a pilot. But the most important thing, the will must be there. The desire must be there. If you don't have the will, if you don't have the desire, if you don't have the passion, you can't go into that investment. If you don't see something that will push you, that will drive you, that, oh, let me take my time to study it. Like you, I see you many times studying markets. Move. You glue on your system, watching all the move, all the trade, wherever. So the drive must be there. If you're not drive,
you
you don't
have to
the
have your
passion
motivations.
about
Yeah,
it.
you've got to have your motivation.
And the outcome must be a motivation sometimes.
Yeah,
because
your result is
when
very
your result is
important.
important as
Your
well.
result is very important, but
Yeah.
sometimes your result, and a lot of times, not actually sometimes, a lot of times your result is not what you expect. So your expectation
Mm.
might be something else, and you lose a little bit of courage, or you lose a bit of inspiration or motivation, is because your expectation was more than what your outcome was. Now that happens a lot, and that's what a lot of people do. They have a lot of projecting. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
project this,
Yeah,
project this,
project
they
that.
predict this, predict. But they find out later that's not what the reality is like. Most times, the reality is much less.
Lies.
Much less, not just less, but much less. That's why I'd rather be more level-headed,
Yeah.
more sane, more
Yeah.
sensible, and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this investment. This is what they're saying, but what is realistic
Yeah.
is more that.
More,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think that's very important. So your expectations, your hopes, and your outcomes won't be disappointing.
Yeah, and I think also that expectation must not bring discouragement to you, because sometimes, like you said, they might promise you like 50% or 4% of outcome of good result, and maybe at the end of the day you only got 5%.
Yeah.
You must learn to be patient sometimes when you're investing your money. The outcome might not be very attractive in the first place.
risky.
But I believe in the persistence and the consistencies. But you
Very
have to
important.
use
Consistency. Yeah.
consistency. You have to use your brain.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to have faith and believe that the process is going to work for you, and you must make sure you control the loss, because sometimes you can be carried away when when you're being promised higher profit and you keep putting your money, but you must know when to say no. You must draw the line.
You've got to have a very
Yeah.
realistic approach towards everything, and not what you see
Mm.
and you understand, but what is the reality beyond it. You see, there's a difference. You know, there's you and me,
Yeah.
but there's the third persons.
That's
okay,
right.
the third person's there,
Yeah.
whoever they are. Well, you've got to have a realistic. We're speaking to an audience. That is a realistic audience. You and I might have a different expectation, but so do they. But what is the realistic? In other words, what is the general or the balance or the realistic outcome of that?
We are come to the final stage of this conversation. We're gonna bring you the part 2 next time, and I want you to watch this space for financial talk, for how to make financial decision, how to invest your money rightly. We're gonna be bringing it to you from time to time. It's good to have you, brother, once again.
Thank you.
Thank
Peter.
you very much.
Thank you.
Stay strong, man.
God bless.
Come on.
Well done, brother.